All right, let's go, because you know what I came in to do.
I don't get paid for overtime. I'm here to fight.
We start with Tyson Fury, I guess. So he turned down a fight with John Jones. Dana White is confirming that on the Daily Mirror. And now he's looking to fight Jai Opetaia. Looks like he's been busy in Australia. First he spoke to Dempsey McKean's people. And now Jai Opetaia. He is currently the IBF Cruiserweight champion. He has a record of 22-0 with 17 inside the distance. Now, the sycophants for Tyson Fury, and there are loads, maybe too many. They're going to say, yeah, Beats, he's preparing for USYK. That's why he's taking him on. McKean's a southpaw too, isn't he? And to be honest, it doesn't bother me. If he can get the WBC to sanction it, that's what they're going to do. I don't have to watch it. I don't have to pay for it. I probably will watch it. I won't pay for it. But it is what it is. I don't expect Tyson Fury to do more than what he's doing right now. This is what I expect from him right now. Jai's best opponent has been Marius Bradis, and that was nearly a year ago. He's recovering from a badly broken jaw, an injury picked up in the Bradis fight. Before Marius Bradis, he's fighting guys like Daniel Russell, never heard of him, 7-2-2. Benjamin Keller, 13-1-2, never heard of him. Mark Flanagan, Nicholas Charalambos. Who are these people? Yeah, the Bradis fight was his step-up fight, and it was his toughest fight, and that was assumed it would be tough. Life and death struggle, and he came through it very impressively. Has to be said. Doesn't qualify him to fight for the WBC heavyweight title, though.
Oh, Tyson Fury, see, I thought he was better than this.
A few days back, he said he really wants to make the USYK fight. So what's he doing in Australia trying to fight Dempsey McKean and his kid for, if he really wants it that bad? For some reason, I thought Jai was younger. He's 27 years of age. But nevertheless, I can understand Dempsey McKean. He's 32. He's around the same age as Tyson Fury. I can understand his management taking that fight. He's a natural heavyweight. I'm not sure he would fare much better than Jai, but he is a natural heavyweight. And he's 32 years of age. But Jai is a world champion. Sounds like almost a cash out to let him fight Tyson Fury without even making a first defense of that IBF title. Not that there's a lot of money at Cruiser, but nevertheless. Logistics. If he fights either Keane or Jai, do them fights take place in Australia? The bag. What kind of bag do them fights get? Australia or anywhere else? Can it compare to the money that he's been getting at Wembley? Let alone Saudi Arabia? I doubt it. According to Big Dan, Haney and Loma did 150k pay-per-view buys, $60 a pop. It's not great, is it? They sold out the arena though. Tank and Devin, that could be a big fight. That could do some big numbers. And maybe that's where it needs to go. Although we can assume they're both going to be moving to 140 shortly. Still a good matchup. But Loma was never a draw. Devin was never a draw. The bad news for Devin making a Tank fight is Tank is the A side. And I don't think Devin and Bill are going to like Floyd, Al Heyman, and Leonard Ellaby's terms. I just don't see it. Alex Krashuk outbids Queensbury in the USYK Daniel Dubois purse bid. A surprisingly massive bid, slightly over $8 million and $50,000. That's £6,962,407.86 in British money. And surprisingly big bid from Queensbury Promotions, Frank Warren, $5,620,050. Only two bidders. USYK will clear $6 million. Daniel gets a nice $2 million chunk out of the split. The proposed date and location is Wrocław, Poland, which borders the Ukraine. You know, good location for USYK. August the 12th is the proposed date. Originally, they had till March the 10th to reach terms, but the WBA had to step in, and this is the result of the purse bid. Daniel Dubois will be a considerable underdog, especially looking at that last performance where he tore his ACL and got dropped a number of times in the first round by the outsider, the cruiserweight, Kevin Lerena from South Africa. Hopefully, that should be the last of them interim title fights for the WBA. They did say they were trying to clean up. Claressa Shields, she was due to defend her middleweight title. She's undisputed middleweight champion against Hannah Gabriel at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit on June the 3rd. However, there will be a change of opponent. Gabriel's will be replaced by Maricela Corjano, as Hannah Gabriel's has tested positive for something. The substance hasn't been disclosed. She's tested positive. The two previously fought in 2018. Yeah, it's that long ago. 5 years back. And it was a weird choice of opponent anyway, because she's only had 3 fights since 2018. And at 40 years of age, inactive, it's no wonder she had to take something illegally to even have a chance of competing with Claressa in 2023. The last fight was for the IBF WBA middleweight titles, and Shields was knocked down in the first round. But this time around, it wouldn't have been competitive. She's just too inactive, and she's just too old. 40 years of age, Claressa Shields is 28. In all truth, Claressa hasn't been that active as a boxer since 2018. She's fought 5 times, but she has been moonlighting as an MMA fighter, so I guess that took up some of her schedule as a pugilist. Lou DiBella, Hannah Gabriel's promoter, contended that a medication she applied to her dog caused Gabriel's to test positive for a banned substance early this month. The substance is called clostebol, an ingredient in the medication that Gabriel's spread on her dog's surgically repaired abdomen, according to DiBella. Dimitri Salita, Claressa Shields' promoter, said they had no choice but get a new opponent. Is it plausible? Is it more plausible than the WBC explaining away Conor Benn's positive tests that he ingested a lot of eggs? I don't know.
I think very deeply.
The dangerous thing about Gervonta Davis, and this is one of the things that makes him as dangerous as he is he's not a deep thinker.
That was shortly before the Hector Garcia fight this year. Eddie made what they call a right pig's ear of what he was trying to say. It's an old English idiom. I don't know what it really means. I think what Eddie was trying to explain was Tank is very instinctive. He doesn't overthink things in the ring. That he's a natural fighter, that all the outside stuff is not really going to affect him. He didn't really explain it right. But let's see if Isaac Chamberlain can do a better job. I recorded this today.
Sorry, Andy, you wanted to ask
No, I've just got one quick one for you, just picking up on something you said there. As a fighter, do you think it's better to be a deep thinker or a non-thinker?
No, non-thinker. Because if you're thinking too deep, you're thinking too much of what the opponent might do, to the point where you get caught up a little bit. You're not. If you're a deep thinker, you're not going to allow yourself to get into your flow. You have to really flow with boxing, with making the opponent worry about you. You're going to keep worrying about what he's going to do, and then you start thinking 3 steps ahead. And when you start thinking 3 steps ahead, you don't initiate the first step, then it gets a bit messy. Do you know what I mean? So
not easy though to achieve that kind of state where you're just letting the subconscious take over.
Of course. Well, I recommend meditating.
Not whilst you're in the ring.
No. But just use what you've practiced. I think when you work so hard in training camp, you work on things that you're going to do in the fight.
Where is EUBANK contractually?
I have no idea, but of course we're talking to Calla. We have been for a long time. We nearly made the fight before. It's the biggest fight for Chris Eubank Jr. by a mile out there, and it's the biggest fight for Conor Benn. Let's see if it's possible.
Where are you at with it, Ben? Is it all down to Eubank Jr.?
Look, there's a postponement clause, so really he's already signed for the fight, so I do fully expect that fight to happen in August. I think Chris wants that fight anyway. He does want to avenge his loss. That's why he's more gutted than anyone it's not happening on July 1st, but Liam really did everything he can. 15 years as a professional. He never pulls out of fights. He's got a genuine back injury, and I expect it to happen in August.
It looks like Chris Eubank Jr. has unwittingly walked into a power struggle between Matchroom and Boxer, DAZN and Sky. Frank Smith from Matchroom said that Eubank is not obligated, has no obligations to Sky to go through with that fight. Liam Smith has pulled out twice from the rematch, so it looked like they were both going to go their separate ways. Then Eddie posted up a tweet with an egg timer in it with Eubank and Ben, left it pretty cryptic. He wants to make Eubank versus Ben. And I have no doubt Callie Sowland would like to see that fight as well. They are currently talking to the British Boxing Board of Control and UKAD to resolve all of Conor's issues to enable him to fight in the UK. But as you saw there, Ben Shalom, he is determined that EUBANK Smith goes ahead. He's insistent that EUBANK wants to fight. I believe EUBANK will want to avenge the loss. I'm not sure if he or Wasserman want to do it straight away, because you lose this time around and the rebuilding job is humongous. And you get the feeling that Eddie would like to rub it in Ben Shalom's face that he's making Ben and EUBANK. And Ben Shalom would like to rub it in Eddie's face that he's going to make EUBANK and Smith. Because they're both big fights. Both big domestic showdowns. If Eddie can get UKAD on side with Conor Benn, that might be a big determining factor in Chris's decision. I'll keep you posted.
I don't know. I mean, we received a legal letter last night from Boxer because of something I said in an interview, something about, I said that no one cares about Smith EUBANK 2. They don't. I don't care about Smith EUBANK 2. It's a one-sided fight. We don't need to see a rematch. In my opinion, people want to see Ben against EUBANK.
Legal letters to a rival promoter who said nobody wants to see your show. They want to see EUBANK and Ben. Is ridiculous, and it does nothing to change the perception that Ben is not a very impressive promoter. He's not impressive at selling the product. Legal letters, withdrawing from purse bids, I don't know. He needs to step his game up, or it could be a matter of time before they bounce him out of there. So the British Boxing Board ordered a check weighing between Lara and Leigh Wood earlier this week. Lara came in so heavy that the board didn't think he would make 126 safely. And the WBA, it looks like, ruled that he wouldn't be fighting if he cut to under 128.5. Now that automatically disqualifies Lara from defending his belt. And you would think, he'd make 128.5 pretty easy. But no, his championship's gone before a punch is thrown. What incentive does he have to make any weight that you tell him to come in at? 126 or 128? And let's face it, he's a piece of shit. I don't like the guy spitting at Josh Warrington. Spitting is disgusting. And he didn't even have the decency to make the 128.5. He came in at 129. 4 pounds heavier than Leigh Wood, who did make the weight. Now, Leigh Wood has the dilemma, him and Ben Davison. Do they go ahead with the fight against an already dangerous opponent who doesn't have to boil himself down to 126? I mean, if you're worried about Lara's safety, ain't you worried about Leigh Wood's safety? Okay, Lara can't fight for the title, but he can come in at 128.5, but Leigh Wood has to make 126. Why doesn't he get a concession where he could come in at 128 as well? That seems fair to me. He didn't screw the check weight up. Even if Leigh Wood wins the fight, that extra 4 pounds can make it more taxing a fight for Leigh Wood than it need be. Is it really worth it for that little tin pot piece of crap, what the WBA call a belt? You know that shit they let Rolly fight for after he just got knocked out? You know that shit they're preparing to let Ryan Garcia fight against Rolly for after he just got knocked out? Now, I was going to wait on the decision whether Ben Davison and Leigh would go ahead with the fight. But I'm not going to wait. Leigh Wood wants to fight. He likes fighting. He wants to scrap. You know what I mean? Like, even if he is disadvantaged, he's going to go in there, isn't he, and fight. Don't complain if it goes pear-shaped, though, Leigh. Don't complain. Shakur Stevenson must be confused right now.
I'm so confused. Damn.
Like, he was the mandatory up until recently for Devin's WBC belt. And then after the controversial fight on Saturday between Loma and Devin, he's been demoted to number 2, while Vasyl Lomachenko is number 1. Now, he was saying the WBC don't really know what they're doing, that there's no structure. Well, I disagree with that. They know what they're doing. They're doing you over. That's what they're doing. The question shouldn't be if they know what they're doing. The question should be, do you know what you're doing? Do you know who you've signed to? And what he seems to have neglected when he's talking to Fight Hype, that if Devin moves up, I'll probably fight Loma for one of the vacant belts, and Fight Hype is saying, yeah, well, you still get your shot at 25% of the split, is what Fight Hype and Shakur forgot to mention. Because Bobby's on the warpath. You know he's had words with the WBC. Look, Shakur chose to sign with Top Rank, and he's going to get the Top Rank treatment. You know what I mean? Like, Once Bob's got his favourites, you play a supporting role in Bob's script. It is what it is. Looks like Clemus has got a bit of clout himself, doesn't it? This looks dodgy, as far as I'm concerned. Isaac Chamberlain will still be on the Lawrence Okoli, Billiam Smith undercard in Bournemouth. It's a nice setting where they've had the Waynes and the open workouts on the beach. Nice setting, nice weather. Worked out brilliantly. Lawal, the British Cruiserweight champion, has pulled out for medical reasons. Well, what is that exactly? Now, he had some problem with a tooth, and he says he's been advised to postpone the fight with Isaac Chamberlain. The board and my promotional company have been provided with all evidence in regards to this matter. He looks forward to a new date, defending his title. Chamberlain's not having it, though. You know what? I'm not even surprised. Coward. You should be ashamed. Now, it blew up between the two last month at the presser, and Chamberlain warned Lawal, don't pull out, don't pull out. And that's exactly what he did. I don't know, it'd have to be a serious tooth injury to stop you defending your British title. But, yeah, it is what it is. Chamberlain's replacement, I don't know if it's been announced or if it's still TBA. We'll see tomorrow. Tried to finish the video, then this pops up on Twitter. Tyson Fury a few days ago claims he sent Anthony Joshua a contract for a fight in September. It's a fight that everyone wants to see, including himself. Come on, AJ, let's give the world what they want to see. This time, I'm not going to make a million vids and keep putting the pressure on. The ball is now on your side. At Frank Warren Official, at Eddie Hearn, at BT Sports, at DAZN Boxing, at Top Rank, at ESPN, at Sky Sports. Must be tiring being Tyson Fury. This week we've heard he's fighting Dempsey McKean, OPET. He also said he wanted the USYK fight. Now he's turned his attention to AJ. Must be really tiring being Tyson Fury. How seriously is Eddie and AJ taking that? They were supposed to fight Dillian in August, Wilder in December. Is Tyson Fury actually capable of sitting down while the negotiations are taking place and not sabotaging the fight? These are all questions I can't answer.
Talking about a game, ain't no game, this is real shit. Uptown North Philly, take you on a field trip. Talking about a game, ain't no game, this is real shit. Uptown North Philly, take you on a field trip. I'ma take you on a field trip. My whole area's filled with cats who will kill for the paper. That's real shit. Shit jump real quick. Shots flash, your life flash. The fast life got a price tag. That young cat, he flew by in a nice Jag, a kingpin, but got the face of a nice lad. The mice mad, the rats hating, they call cops. Price on their head from a poppy who calls shots. Small blocks with street soldiers and Range Rovers, and every one of them plan is taking the game over. What came over, my mind state. It's all about the Benjamins. That's what's boosting the crime rate. My prime date was a dime, but 5 years down the line, the street got her. Drove her right out of mine. Now she's known for copping dimes and giving up sloppy top to 5-0. Think she be dropping dimes. Talking about a game, ain't no game, this is real shit. Uptown North Philly, take you on a field trip. Talking about a game, ain't no game, this is real shit. Uptown North Philly, take you on a field trip. Street wars, they never end, and nobody never win. There's very few veterans. Niggas think they ballin', they peddlin'. The low key is the clever men. Smart ones hit it and quit it. The misguided, they settle in. Most cops more crooked than a letter S. The number man, they book it and they never stress. Tabletops with bootlegs and fake J's. Niggas hit up a scepter bus with AKs. Center city full of millionaires and hobos. Niggas starving but still rocking polos. Big beers, low cuts with waves spinning. White tees, pear trees, fresh denim. Cops plan on arresting them. Take them down, question them. That's they little way of testing them. Somebody dead from a bad deal. Take you on a field trip. Ain't no game, you can see it's mad real. Talking about a game, ain't no game, this is real shit. Uptown North